here?
My parents? Do they know where I am? Are they alive?
Of course. We're not monsters. Without our work, the world as we know it would cease to be. It's my responsibility to see that that work gets done. So it will.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. If you're enjoying the content, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to become an official innkeeper, ring that bell so you're always first to check in when a new episode drops. Today we're diving into The Institute, a series brought to life by director Jack Bender. Everyone knows him as the series From and Lost, but if you're an OG like me, you'll know him from Child's Play 3, Mr. Mercedes, and The Outsider. Also executive producer Benjamin Cavell. They gave us the reboot TV series The Stand. We're kicking things off with episode 1 called The Boy. We introduced to Luke, a smart student who dreams of going to MIT. He talks about this with his parents and his principal, but he spoke to his principal first about it. Luke wants to explore his options and see what else is out there. He also shares a strange dream he had about things he doesn't know yet but wants to learn. While he's telling his parents about it, the piece of pan starts to move and hits the floor, meaning one thing: he has some type of power ability. Then security agents from the Institute showed up at Jake's house and kidnapped him. When he wakes up, he noticed something strange. His jersey, which has been ripped earlier, is now perfectly stitched. It's a girl named Kalisha who is a TP, and I'm going to be saying TP and TK throughout the entire season. She is trying to let where he is, but also shares her experience. So she asks if he was TP or a TK, and so far doesn't know. I'm assuming after that piece of pen that was moved, he is TK. Then we meet Miss Sigsby, the head of the Institute. She's strict and to me kind of off. When she talks about the work or how important the mission is, it's like she's reading from a script or a teleprompter. That this isn't his home or his school, and that he won't be allowed to contact his parents. He'll be treated like an adult, including the consequences. And when they're officially done with him, they will wipe his memory and he can go home, which I think that is full of crap. It's an old military facility. As you can see, the posters on the wall of children that says shots for dots as encouragement for kids to take. So I want to go a little deeper regarding the facility and military experiment. Back in the 50s, there was a military project called MK Ultra, a clandestine project aimed at developing methods of mind control, psychological manipulation, and unconventional warfare techniques. The program experimented with various techniques, including the use of hallucinogenic drugs, sensory deprivation, hypnosis, and telepathic research. The program involved more than 150 human experiments involving psychedelic drugs, paralytics, and electric shock therapy. Sometimes the test subjects knew they were participating in a study, but at other times they had no idea, even when the hallucinogens started taking effect.
The case of MK Ultra has to be one of the craziest cases of blowback in CIA history. Because here they took this drug, LSD, and thought that they were going to be able to use it to control people's minds. And the unbelievable irony is that LSD is a drug that does exactly the opposite. It frees your mind and causes people to question authority.
There were plenty of top security military projects that focus on TP and TK back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and even the 90s. So these children are only here for one purpose. The question is, will they make it out of the Institute? We also meet Mr. Stackhouse and Mr. Hollister, who both work at the Institute. As soon as I saw Stackhouse, I recognized him from another TV show.
You have an inflated sense of your importance.
I am a Supernatural fan, so that face stood out right away. And of course, we all know Mr. TV series called From. Then we meet Tim, who decided not to go to New York and instead hitchhike with a stranger. He ends up in Maine, which makes sense, since almost all of Stephen King's stories are somehow tied to Maine. All of them take place in Maine, either in real towns or one King made up that feel just as real. There he becomes a night knocker, a kind of nighttime patrolman or security guard. They don't carry weapons or have the full authority of a police officer, but they help keep an eye on things. Tim takes the job partially because of his grandfather, who used to do it too. He meets a homeless woman named Annie that is listening to George Herman, who was a journalist and news reporter talking about the military and other political things, and as Annie called it, listened to George Gems. The woman asked him if he had any feelings in his mouth because she stated that they may be listening and she thinks that the Chinese government is bugging their mouths. It made me think about Lucille Ball, who picks up radio transmissions through her dental fillings and is a well-known urban legend. According to the story, Lucille claimed that in the early 1940s, she started to hear strange clicking or music in her head while driving home. Supposedly, the sounds turned out to be a radio transmission from a Japanese spy station, and when she reported it, it helped the authorities locate it and shut it down. The story is wild and fascinating, and you're right, it's not new. A lot of people have heard some versions of it over the years, but there is no solid evidence it's actually happening. Most experts believe it's more folklore than fact. Then you have the other children in the institute that are TP or TK. Then there's Miss Sigsby again. Can we talk about the burn marks on her legs? She seemed to get something out of the pain, and it looks like it's tied to the things she does for these kids. Nick wants out and asks Luke if he's the one who's going to save them. I'm especially curious about the back half, which seems to be what happens to the kids who finish the program. What does that actually mean? Are they able to leave home as Miss Sigsby says? Or if it's something that is permanent that they have to deal with for the rest of their lives? Episode 1 was super intriguing, a lot of mystery, theories, and questions. I'm especially curious about Annie. I get the feeling she might be a TP too, but if that's true, how did she get out? Is what Sigsby said about wiping memories actually real? Or did something darker happen to that woman to leave her the way she is? Thank you so much for watching my channel. Make sure you like and subscribe, and until then, see you later.